We present to you our research title, The Effects of Catcalling to the Self-Esteem of the Grade 12 ABM Female Students. This study aims to determine the relationship between catcalling and the level of self-esteem of the Grade 12 ABM female students. Specifically, this study seeks to answer the following questions. What is the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age? What are the catcalling experiences of the respondents? What is the level of self-esteem of the respondents? Is there a significant relationship between catcalling and levels of self-esteem?
The studies focus on the relationship between catcalling experiences and the levels of self-esteem of grade 12 ABN female students. Data gathered in research were obtained from University of Pangasinan, Arellano Street, Dagupan City in 2019. The study focused on the respondents who experienced or know someone who experienced catcalling. The study asked for the demographic profile of the respondents only to correctly identify their age range and contributory factors of catcalling. The researchers did not look for the significant relationship of the demographic profile towards self-esteem. In addition to this, gender was also a limitation wherein the researchers focused only on selected female students.
Being a woman in this society comes with a couple of issues, and catcalling is one of them. When catcalling is mentioned, people usually picture a man whistling at a woman walking down the street. Although this is a typical scenario, the researcher wants the public to understand that there is so much more to it than just that.
The term catcalling has gained recognition as a real worldwide phenomenon. With the aid of the research by Hollerbach and by Cornell University, which ran a large-scale online survey collecting data on street harassment in 22 countries. Street harassment has been identified as a global social problem. Curl 2015.
The damage of catcalling is far-reaching. Experience of a young age sexual harassment has been normalized as girls move through life. So we decided to conduct this study to know more the effect of catcalling in Yupa.
Government therefore needs an act regulation protecting women from catcalling. Counselor psychologists to have additional information when handling cases that are related to catcalling. Advocates and human rights to provide them a study that could stand as a stronger basis for their campaigns and advocacies.
Women, it helps them understand what catcalling is and it can give psychological effect on them. Parents, it gives them broader knowledge about catcalling and it can also help them in guiding and educating their children properly. Students, to be informed and spread awareness about catcalling. Researcher, this study would help the student researcher to be aware and knowledgeable about the process involved in catcalling. True researcher, this study will be useful reference for the future researcher who would plan to make any related study about catcalling.
The researchers administered a survey questionnaire form that asked the respondents' demographic profile, catcalling experiences, and their level of self-esteem.
The participants were given a questionnaire. The first part was about the student's profile, and the second part was about the catcalling experiences of the respondents, and the third part was about the level of self-esteem of the respondents. The researchers also gave a letter that was signed by the research advisor and approved by the principal.
We encountered a lot of problems in gathering the data, but later we found a solution to it. One problem is that we didn't have an extra copy of our questionnaire. Some of us rushed immediately to the computer shop to try to contact our leader's siblings. We waited for more than 20 minutes and the questionnaire was finally sent. In data gathering, on the other hand, we waited for the other respondents to answer the survey because some of them are also conducting their survey in the other section. But then, in the end, all 45 of our respondents are accomplished the questionnaire.
Why are we against catcalling?
Because we want to feel safe and secure every day, no matter what we wear from head to toe and wherever we are. Filipinos have always thought that modesty is the key to avoid attention. But do people who experience catcalling needs to be the one to adjust?
Society has taught women that when they draw attention to themselves, whatever happens, whether unwanted or not, as a result of that attention is their responsibility.
Our research aims to inform everyone that catcalling is not just a compliment, but it is a type of street harassment that can affect females, especially students.
We should all raise awareness in these problems because these experiences leaves a mark on the victims' identities and their self-esteem.
The researchers headed this study because the researchers had gathered and read different articles about catcalling. The researchers observed that the campaign to this kind of street harassment in the Philippines were not widely spread in public.
The study is focused on the relationship between catcalling experiences and the levels of self-esteem of grade 12 ABM female students.
During the survey process, the time wasn't enough that we did the survey for 2 days. Because with the questions, we can easily determine the cause and effect of the problem. Manila Bulletin published a work about social weather station study concluded 60% of the women in the country have been victims of catcalling at least once in their lives. And Cornell University concluded a large-scale research study about street harassment. This helped us see the problems occurring in the country and how this affects the young girls, especially students.
The research methodology is descriptive correlational. As a descriptive study, the researcher collected detailed and factual information to describe existing phenomena. The researchers also determined the relationship between two variables.
Our respondents for this study is grade 12 ABM 3A female students, and they are 45 in total. We use simple random sampling in conducting this study.
Each of the respondents was given the same questionnaires to answer. There were 34 students who were 17 years of age. In the catcalling experience that had the highest frequency when a man asks for their name. And the self-esteem level of the respondents was moderate. And there is a relationship between catcalling and levels of self-esteem.
What's original about our work is the data that we have gathered in the third part of the questionnaire. Despite of our respondents' experiences of catcalling, the respondents' self-esteem were all average, and it didn't affect them that much.
The strongest part of our research is the review of related literature because we had a lot of articles, studies, and literature that will support the answers or the results that we came up with. And the weakest part of our research is the choice of respondents because we didn't include males.
For parents, they should always look after on their children and ask frequently on how their days. And for the student, they should always assess their safety. And for the school, to help a program that would raise awareness on the students on the catcalling event. For the future researchers to study in broader areas in the part of the Dagupan City to know the opinions and the street harassment.
Our research is important because we are addressing a relevant issue and the effects of catcalling on the students. This will inform everyone how to stop catcalling. If we were to conduct our study again, we will change our respondents and will include males and the LGBTQ community to know their experiences on catcalling and the effects it had on them.
I would want our group to be more conscious about deadlines and so that we can have enough time to do all the paperworks and revise them. I would also be cooperative from the start.